Attraction 1. The Critter Country 500 was a rejected dark ride concept proposed for Disneyland's Critter Country. Attraction 2. Indiana Jones and the Lost Expedition, a huge complex designed to house the Indiana Jones Adventure Outpost, as well as a minecart roller coaster and part of the Jungle Cruise, with the Disneyland Railroad traveling through the middle. It was pared down to Indiana Jones Adventure due to post-Euro Disneyland budget cuts. Attraction 3. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, a dark ride based on the Legend of Sleepy Hollow segment from the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad that was planned for Land of Legends. Attraction 4. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas ride. A dark ride based on The Nightmare Before Christmas was planned to be built at the character meeting place to the southeast of It's a Small World. Attraction 5. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was originally envisioned as a roller coaster. Walt Disney decided to change it to a dark ride because he felt the roller coaster concept would have alienated young children and the elderly. Attraction 6. Rogues Gallery, a basement walk-through wax museum beneath New Orleans Square in which Disneyland guests would have seen wax figure scenes recreating pirate history. Basement for it was put on hold so Walt Disney and his Imagineers could work on attractions for the 1964 New York World's Fair. Concept eventually evolved into the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Attraction 7. Pirate Wax Museum, another version of Rogues Gallery, would have featured famous pirates narrating wax-made scenes. Became Pirates of the Caribbean when Walt changed the ride system from walk-through to boat ride. Attraction 8. The Saga of Windwagon Smith, a dark ride based on the cartoon short of the same name, which was planned for Land of Legends. Okay, Attraction 9. Plankton's Fantastic Intergalactic Review. Or Review, I don't know. An attraction that was supposed to be located where America Scenes once resided. It would have been an outer space musical variety revue featuring a troupe of audio animatronics, itinerant alien musicians whose spaceship has landed in Tomorrowland. However, the idea of which was part of the original Tomorrowland 2055 plan eventually was scrapped due to budget constraints. The space that would have been Plankton's Fantastic Intergalactic Review is now home to Tomorrowland Expo Center. Attraction 10. The UFO Show. Armed with air guns, guests would have bullet calls and try to shoot eerie, unhuman, gremlin-like targets. Would have been staged upstairs over America Scenes. Eventually became the inspiration for Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. Attraction 11. Nostromo, a high-tech interactive attraction based on Ridley Scott's Alien, in which visitors would have rolled through the darkened corridors of the Nostromo, riding inside of heavily armored vehicles. Armed with laser cannons, guests would have been sent on rescue mission to find the missing members of Nostromo's crew, as well as rid the spaceship of all alien intruders. Attraction 12. Young Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. An elaborate stunt was to have been produced in collaboration with George Lucas. This action-packed live extravaganza would have thrust young Indy into a series of thrilling adventures and misadventures, adding a new dimension to the legendary lore of one of Hollywood's greatest heroes. Part of the show would have involved young Indy running along the top of a passing Disneyland railroad train. The famous ghost hears outside of the Haunted Mansion was purchased for the show until plans were scrapped. Attraction 13, Casey Jr. Circus Train Roller Coaster. The Casey Jr. Circus Train was initially envisioned as a full-fledged roller coaster, the first in the park, before initial test runs proved that such a ride would be too cost-prohibitive to run. It was thus reduced to speed and kept as a slow-moving ride. Attraction 14, The Island at the Top of the World, a Zeppelin ride to a lost civilization in the Arctic designed for Discovery Bay. Attraction 15, Professor Marvel's Gallery of Illusion, a gallery of illusions hosted by Professor Marvel and his little dragon friend for Discovery Bay. The concept evolved into Journey into Imagination. Attraction 16, Spark Gap Electric Loop Coaster, a spiraling and dizzying ride designed for Discovery Bay, where the forces of magnetism were demonstrated for guests. Attraction 17, Adventures in Science, a history of science exhibit for Tomorrowland, in which guests would have traveled through a microscope through the history of science. Attraction 18, Unnamed Motion Simulator Western Adventure, a motion simulator ride for Frontierland, where guests would hop on mechanical horses and watch a Western adventure movie and become part of the action. Attraction 19, One Nation Under God, another attraction for Liberty Street that would have brought the story of America's history to life. Attraction 20, Lafitte Island, a retooling of Tom Sawyer Island based around pirate Jean Lafitte. Guests would enter Lafitte's crypt in a graveyard across from the Haunted Mansion and travel through a catacomb-themed tunnel under the river to the island, which would also feature shipwrecks and Lafitte's treasure vault, would partially inspire the Pirate's Lair retool. Attraction 21, Western River Expedition, a clone of the planned attraction for Magic Kingdom that would have been placed in Land of Legends. Attraction 22, Here Comes the Muppets, a clone of the show at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which would have been performed in the Videopolis Theater. Attraction 23, Star Wars Roller Coaster. This marquee attraction would have been a groundbreaking immersive Star Wars attraction that would give guests control over how the journey would unfold, fight or flee. It was planned for Lucasport. Attraction 24, The Little Mermaid Ride, a suspended dock ride based on the 1989 animated film The Little Mermaid. Similar to Peter Pan's flight, guests would have boarded a clamshell and journeyed under the sea, featuring multiple scenes from the movie, with a much grander finale, a whirlpool, and a giant Ursula. Ultimately became both The Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure at Disney California Adventure and in 2011 and Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid in 2012.